When we mention the One Belt, One Road initiative, what do you think of? Is it the vast transportation network connecting the Eurasian continent, or the complex economic cooperation between countries? Perhaps in many people's minds, the One Belt, One Road initiative always seems to be closely related to economic expansion, debt traps, etc. But you know what? The impact of this initiative goes far beyond that. Recently, Beijing, China, established a desertification prevention and control cooperation center with Mongolia through the Belt and Road Initiative. The two sides will reach a consensus to plant 1 billion trees in the desert over 9 years in order to improve Mongolia's increasingly severe desertification problem. In fact, it is not surprising that China has become a partner of Mongolia. After all, among all countries in the world, China has the most successful cases of desert control in the world. But what makes us curious is that planting 1 billion trees in the desert will not only waste manpower and money, but also involve certain risks in international cooperation. So why does China want to help Mongolia fight desertification without any financial return? Is there any other purpose behind this? If you find today's video interesting, be sure to subscribe to the Insider Truth channel so you won't miss any exciting videos. Now let's get into today's topic. For thousands of years, vast, arid and barren lands such as deserts have been the harshest living environments on Earth. As desertification spreads and expands, it will also bring unprecedented disasters to many countries. Over the past few hundred years, humans have been trying to manage deserts, and many countries around the world have also made efforts in this regard. But managing deserts is a big challenge. This process not only takes a long time, but also consumes a lot of money. Many countries finally gave up considering the time and cost. But in this field, China can create amazing desert miracles. As far as I know, the most successfully managed desert in China is the Muas Desert. The desert covers an area of 42,200 square kilometers, almost as large as Denmark. But the Chinese persisted for 68 years and successfully turned this lifeless sandy land into a prosperous oasis by planting 300 million trees. With a wealth of knowledge and experience, China has also begun to help other countries manage deserts, and even helped Mongolia plant 1 billion trees in the desert. Mongolia covers an area of 1.5665 million square kilometers and has a population of approximately 3.458 million. The country relies largely on livestock and mining to drive its economy, but overgrazing has exposed its dry and fragile land to rapid desertification and desertification. At the same time, Mongolia's mining industry is further exacerbating the deterioration of the ecological environment. As of now, more than 76% of Mongolia's land has been desertified, of which 45.4% has reached a very serious level of desertification. As the area of desertified land continues to expand, the disasters caused by desertification also continue to intensify. Data shows that since 1990, the number of meteorological disasters suffered by Mongolia has tripled. In order to cope with the challenge of desertification, Mongolian President Kurulsuk launched an ambitious environmental protection plan as early as 2 years ago, planting 1 billion trees. The plan aims to combat the threats of desertification and dust storms while protecting deteriorating land. But considering that the country has a population of only 3.46 million and a GDP of less than $2 billion, it is almost impossible to complete this ambitious task independently. What is even more difficult is that they seriously lack the technology and experience to manage deserts. Under such circumstances, Mongolia must seek international support. China is undoubtedly the best partner for this project. In October 2023, the two countries formally determined a cooperation plan to jointly manage deserts through the Belt and Road Initiative. In order to implement this cooperation, the two parties also established a cooperation center focusing on desertification prevention and control in Ulaanbaatar, the capital of Mongolia. According to this plan, within 9 years from 2021 to 2030, both parties aim to plant at least 1 billion trees to combat the challenge of desertification. In order to further support Mongolia's efforts to control desertification, Beijing, China has also promised to provide Mongolia with $100 million in free funds in the next 5 years. The main purpose is to promote the restoration and protection of forest and grass ecology, and to combat desertification of land spread further. However, after the formal establishment of the cooperation, it also caused speculation in the media. They believed that China helped Mongolia through this cooperation in order to expand its influence, or even as a debt trap under the Belt and Road Initiative. So do you know why China is willing to help Mongolia manage the desert? As we all know, China and Mongolia are neighboring countries and share a common border of thousands of kilometers. Many times, when severe sandstorms occur in Mongolia, the dust can reach as far as North Korea, South Korea, Japan, and even across the Pacific to the United States. But as a territorial country of Mongolia, China has suffered the most severe impact of sandstorms. Because the main origin of most sandstorms is located in the southern region of the border between Mongolia and China. The vast desert and Gobi here are the main origins of sandstorms. In spring every year, when cyclones in Mongolia are active, a large amount of dust is sent to China. The amount of dust transported to China every year can reach 300,000 tons, which has a major impact on the Beijing-Tianjin-Hebei region, which is less than 500 kilometers away. In March 2023, northern China experienced an unprecedented sand and dust weather event, which directly affected about 40 million people and was considered the most serious sand and dust weather event in the past decade. And in the past, sandstorms have caused economic losses of hundreds of millions of dollars to China every year, including reduced crop production, energy supply interruptions, infrastructure maintenance, and a large number of flight delays and cancellations. Therefore, in order to fundamentally alleviate the impact of sandstorms, China not only needs to carry out desert control domestically, but also needs to assist Mongolia in desertification prevention and control across borders. Once this kind of cooperation is successful, the occurrence of sandstorms can be reduced from the source. More importantly, in this cross-border green cooperation, China can also impart advanced desertification prevention and control technologies to Mongolia. These include soil and water conservation, revegetation, and sustainable land management strategies. Through such technical exchanges and knowledge sharing, Mongolia will gradually establish its own desertification prevention and control system. In the future, Mongolia is expected to rely on its own strength to effectively reduce the desertification process, achieve independent desert management, and create a greener and healthier living environment for its people and future generations. In fact, over the past decade or so, China has not only invested in efforts to control desertification in its own country and neighboring countries such as Mongolia, but has also expanded this green mission to Africa and the Middle East. In Ethiopia, China has provided more than $1 billion in financial support and successfully transformed more than 300,000 hectares of desert into fertile land. China's desert management team has also significantly improved local environmental and agricultural sustainability by planting drought-resistant trees and introducing and applying sand-resistant technology to the local area. For the United Arab Emirates, Saudi Arabia, and Uzbekistan, China's help is also reflected in the sharing of technology and experience. Through close cooperation with these countries, China has provided advanced technologies and practical experience on desertification prevention and control, effectively slowed down the expansion of deserts, and successfully helped these countries improve their ability to resist desertification. Before we end today's video, remember to hit that shiny subscribe button. This way you will receive more insider information on projects as soon as possible. Looking forward to sharing with you next time.